Okay, I'll share my screen. Well, again, thanks for joining. It's a pleasant good evening for everyone. The people who are joining from different countries, I know, except the people joining from Singapore. So, good evening, good morning, good afternoon. I'll quickly introduce ourselves. So, we are Singapore Marketers Partner Group, and we give a high-level content not only with the Partner as a B2B marketing tool, but we will give some more relevant content across CRM platform, which is Marketing Cloud, which is the CDP, and we're targeting for a couple of other new innovatives as well in terms of uh, artificial intelligence, how RPA integrate with Salesforce, and how we could do that. And without any delay, I think I'll ask my uh, leader, Janeshwar, is going to give some introduction, so that after that I'll go with mine. Go ahead, Janeshwar. Janeshwar, there? Okay, I think he's on mute, but I'll give his introduction. So Janeshwar is one of our co-leader, and he started this entire group inside Singapore. And he's a senior manager in Capgemini, and then he's a technical architect with Capgemini, and he's a velocity expert. And I know he's a MuleSoft ambassador as well. And very few people that I know is solid technicalities with respect to each and every cloud platform inside the Salesforce and different platforms. Uh, Let me have a chat. I'm muted, unable to unmute. Okay. So let me make you unmute. Yeah. Now you can speak, right, Danish? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Thank you, Fanindra. It's great to see that we are growing, and we started it 2 years back now.
Yeah.
And I can see that we have more than 200 group members currently. We are in the group. And it's great to see that you are taking initiatives to share knowledge and experience around Marketing Cloud, CDP, and Paradot as well. Like I would say many more to come in 2022. Thank you. Thank you for the warm introduction.
Thanks, Janeshwar. As I said, it is a last session in 2021 team within Singapore Marketers Group. I would like to give some good content to finish this year with a high level, takeaways, the good takeaways from this year, and then we're planning to have next year. We're going to plan some CDP series of sessions. It's a complete hands-on team. So we are we are planning to people of 6 people who is going to conduct a series of sessions on CDP. We're going to provide you, if possible, I'm going to provide a CDP org for each and everyone, and then we can practice something. We can start from scratch too, and then we could discuss. We could resolve some queries, some real-time use cases with industry-specific one, and that's one of the key takeaway. To 2022. And we're going to have some API integration best practices as well. So we're going to talk about some high-level API connectivities with different systems, cross-cloud integrations as well. So we have a lot of fruitful content in the next year. So please feel free to join, and then uh, you know join with the group so that you'll get some relevant updates as well. Again, coming to myself, I am Fanindra, and I work with Epistoki. So I was heading the entire customer experience and the delivery within Epistoki, and I little passion towards all the platforms across cloud systems, including AWS and a couple of other Google artificial intelligence and couple of other things. That's what my introduction. So without any delay, I'm going to jump into the session. So I'll give you a recap that what we have happened with the session one. So in our last session, so we have talked about the Social Studio Automate, how Social Studio Automate will definitely give you a lot of glimpse that can integrate different omni channels to Service Cloud, Sales Cloud, to bring the best customer experience with different channels across the platform. And by using Social Studio Automate, what are all the common use cases that we could achieve, and what can we do it? What kind of elements that we can do it inside Social Studio Automate? And what are all the Social Studio tools, and the email notifications and threshold alerts? And we have some quiz as well, and questions and answers that there are people who are asked us a couple of pretty good questions, and then probably I hope we answer these questions as well. So that was a recap of session one. So without any delay, let's go to the session two. So today we're going to talk about on high level. So let me go back to session two. So this is a session two. We're going to talk about the Social Studio data sources, and the agenda that it's simple. The data sources, and we can talk about some rule-based, web-based engines inside data sources, and the rules and the conditions and the actions within Social Studio Automate, and how it can helpful to create a rules and to apply a lot of conditions and to perform some actions. So it's pretty easy that don't think too much on what is this exactly. It is exactly the same like the part dot. Hope you're aware of how you build an automation, right? So it's an automation where you can build a rule first, right? You can build a rule, and after that you can define conditions. Once you define conditions, then you have an actions. So there are some completion actions. You can apply tags, you can apply you could send prospects to a list, or you could send a prospect to an automations or engagement platform. So all these things, so the basic same concept that works with Social Studio Automate as well. And at last we can talk about today is a pretty good quiz. So we go with some online platform, and then there you can see some pretty good questions as well. And then we can give some swags to the winners, the top three winners. Uh, and we can close the session with 2020, 2021 with a high note. Okay. So let's go to the data sources. So before this all topics, like I would like to give some level of functional understanding how all these things will work normally. So I'll probably draw something, and then probably that will gives you some idea, right? Let me try it so that it'll gives you some basic idea about what is Social Studio, and then we can recap again with the session one as well, right? Well, so I have this Social Studio Automate. So this is the topic that for the last two series is that we talked about it. So everybody need to understand. Uh, Everyone knows this Social Studio, that what I am aware of, right? Social Studio, people leverage on a high level content that they could publish in one single platform, where you could uh, publish your post, and you could engage your customers through their feed, and then you could look at their feed and then reply directly, right? And then you could have analyze as well. So this gives you the complete KPIs about the entire engagement of your different Facebook pages, different Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn, right? People think that this is what the Social Studio will leverage, but people will aware what exactly Social Studio can do us, because there are so many channels that you're connecting, right? So you're connecting different social channels, right? So there are channels like FB, and there are channels like Twitter, right? There are channels like Twitter, and there are channels like Instagram, LinkedIn, and a couple of other social channels, right? Other social channels. So all this content where when you publish any post to this Social Studio, you publish a post from here using a publish option, and from here you will get all the relevant content posting back to Social Studio. Am I right? So people analyze. So this is what is happening in Social Studio, and by using this content, so we could build a lot of analyze a lot of KPIs that we can build inside Social Studio. So by using this, we could build the engagement trend, the engagement scores, the sentiment analysis, and we could build some labels as well, and we could apply all this information, right? So everybody thinks this is what the Social Studio does, correct? But there are some use cases where uh, customer comes back to you, because there are some couple of requirements from your customer era saying that, hey funny, I think there is a tool called social customer service inside Salesforce that will of course that will connect with different channels. You have a tool called Social Studio Customer Service inside Salesforce, right? So here everybody talks about, so you're saying that there are some channels where the content will flow to Social Studio, but there is another capability called Social Studio Customer Service which can help the same way, right? Of course it does the same way. It will give you an amount of, it will, you can connect the Facebook Messenger, and at the same time you can connect to your you can connect your Twitter, you can connect to your LinkedIn. So a Social Studio Customer Service connect all these channels, right? And then whenever somebody message through your messenger, so automatically this messenger social post you can connect to a Social Studio omni channel, and then you can assign that social post to your internal agent, so that an agent will create a case and then he'll start communicating with this messenger. But ideally, you look at an higher level, high term, right? The FB Messenger, how many messages that you can type in a fraction of a minute, and then how much time does the each and every messenger message inside the messenger will take you to travel back to Social Studio? So there is a delay of approximately, that what we found when we build this tools, there is a delay of approximately 5 to 10 minutes. Do you really have that much of time that to escalate any, do you have that much of time to, waiting for the reply from customer service to FB Messenger through social customer service? Of course I don't have that much time, because I'm sitting in one of the product issue in front of with customer, then I'm waiting a reply on some sort of transactional issues, but I can't wait to 5 to 10 minutes, and I can't keep wait for the customer to look for the resolution, right? So you see the proper delay, the proper bug that inside our product is like 5 to 10 minutes, taking too much time to reply or to get the reply from agent to FB Messenger through social customer service, right? So now, in order to eliminate, there are some use cases saying that, so as you said, a lot of content going to Social Studio, but there is a requirement where I would like to build, whenever any customer who's looking my post, either of be it Twitter, Instagram, or any other social platforms, I want to bring any negative comments, something like in I purchased any product inside one of the e-commerce platform. Then unfortunately I got a wrong product, and eventually I got a wrong product. Then I reach out to the support team where I don't have any answer for that. And what essentially I do is I'll directly go to LinkedIn, and then I'll directly put a message to their the support manager, or I could directly post my concern directly to their FB page, Twitter, Instagram pages, right? Then they'll alert, and then they'll get to know the problem behind this, what happened exactly, what went wrong, right? So those kind of elements, especially when you talk about the use case one, the typical customers that what we go implement, any negative comment, any negative comments posted inside your channels, all your inside your social channels, right? Use case two, I want to apply, I want to ask a question. I want to ask a question, okay, a random question about product details, right? Or I want to ask details about uh, the usage information about product designs, right? And there are some other use cases, especially on this, uh, you know, a high level of tweets actually. So there are 100K tweets daily, which is flowing through Social Studio, right? And then out of 100K tweets, and I want to pick it up only for top, 30 tweets, which has a proper comments where I need to alert, I need to take an action to my managers, right? So if you look at these scenarios, like any negative comments which is posted by different customers with your pages, or if you want to ask any questions abruptly and directly pose that question to their relevant pages, right? So the expectation is anything that is happening through these pages, right? I want this comment should be go to the Salesforce, go to Salesforce Service Cloud, and then I want to create a case immediately, and then the reply from an agent from Sales Service Cloud directly coming to the respective post that what you posted as a reply. So in order to make this thing work, like in order to integrate this Social Studio to Service Cloud, you need a tool, you need a middleware, or you need a the business process to be involved to interact with the Social Studio content, because you're flowing a lot of content, right? There's a lot of content, but out of the content, you want to understand what are all the negative comments, what is my negative sentiment analysis, and what are all the abruptive questions, what are all the labels that I need to apply for those questions. So what are all the tweets which are going in a negative way? So I need a automation platform in order to automate or do the work that what I need to filter manually. If I want to do manually on this job, it'll take a lot of days for me, right? In order to manage all this work, so there's a tool called introduction of Social Studio Automate, which can talk to your Social Studio system. It will fine tune the content of the entire system, irrespective of the pages that what you connected, and it will give you the proper conditional statements where it will offer you a conditional statement, what kind of content, what kind of sentiment analysis you would like to filter, what kind of rule that you would like to apply, what you want to do it. So here, essentially what it does is the Social Studio Automate, it will go and then connect with the respective Social Studio via Radiant 6 API. Via Radiant 6 API, it will pull all the information of the content, because Radiant 6 works with the high level content. It is a content based API. So it will bring all the content inside Social Studio Automate. And immediately you need to know inside Social Studio Automate what kind of data source you need, right? Because data sources are the Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and all this part of the data channels you have. in order to connect in order to connect a data source, in order to filter your content, or in order to find out what exactly you want to do, you require a data source. So after Social Studio Automate, the first step what you have to do is you have to create one data source. You have to create one data source. Let's talk about, when we understand this, the first step is to talk about what is data sources. Let's go to the presentation. You can see here, when I talk about, I'll go a little bit presentation mode. You see here, I have a data sources here which I've connected. Then it will ask you what kind of data source type you want. Uh, Typically, when we are working with the marketing tools, there are some industry customers looking for, I want a real-time communication between Social Studio system to my downstream systems. And some people like, it's okay, recent, the recent will okay, because there is a threshold that we can keep for the recent, maybe 72 hours of data that can pull up and then check it out. Within 72 hours of data, maybe you'll get 100K content posts. Out of 100K, there might be a 200 to 300 negative comments, right? So that will run the batch job inside a Social Studio Automate, and you don't need to do anything. It will automatically does your job. It will pick you the last 72 hours of comments, and then it will filter themselves to find out the negative comments, and then that will create a case inside Salesforce, right? There are some data sources which we could schedule as well. So people think that, okay, I don't want to disturb my agents, because I don't have a team to manage my agent panel. I don't have 10 agents sitting and then answering all the customer queries. I'm purely a pretty much a basic industry guy, that my agents will come at morning 10 to 5. I have one agent and he's working a lot of my office stuff, and he has to take care of the customer service. Then in these cases where you can go with schedule, because maybe you are too good in weekends, so you could schedule this post on the weekends, and automatically in the weekend itself you can create all the cases. So the cases will not create your weekdays. By using the scheduled data sources, only the cases will be creating in the weekend timings. And the historical, it will ask you the complete bunch of data, but I'll go through what is historical. But you can see here on the high level, it will ask you the name of your data source, the data source type, the post origin. So you want to pick the based on the keyword topics, or you want to pick based on the managed accounts. Managed accounts is nothing but your direct account, your LinkedIn account, your LinkedIn social Twitter account, your Instagram account, right? And then we'll ask you topic. The topics will help you out to find out, as I said, the origin as topics. So it'll ask you what kind of topics you want to filter the content, because I want to filter the content with checking account, savings account, or business account, or anything. You can add any number of keywords that you wish to have. And apart from this, you have an option to find out the filter the media type as well. So the media types goes with your comments. You want to bring the data, the content with the filtering of the comments, or you want to bring the Facebook comment, forum replies, forums, images, or any whatsoever, right? So you can see here, there's a limitation where we need to understand the data sources. It contains up to 550 managed accounts and up to 5 topic profiles. As I said initially in the session one, in order to start working with Social Studio Automate, step one, we have to create a topic profiles and we have to enable the macros. Topic profiles will help you out to manage your content or relevant content. The topic profile contains all the keywords across your social channels that will be applied for each and every social channel based on your rules. And the macros will help you out to connect with a social studio to Service Cloud. And macro will help you out to label all your negative sentiments to a certain label that can help you for managing the negative comments very proactively. That I can showcase you. Maybe I can log in with Social Studio and then I can showcase how it works. And you can see here. So this is the basic data source information that how people can find out a real-time one. You can see the real-time data sources. It will allow to associate the Social Studio Automate rules to act on social media posts as they're harvested. Because as I said, you can pick the real time with the respective both the post origins, and you can put the topic and you could put the media types as well. And at the same time, you have the recent and trigger data sources. That's what I've said. So from the few minutes in the past 72 hours, you could trigger that data sources to look for workflows updated in the backend, maybe the certain time period. Your post include last 30 days of data, last 5 days of data, and last week of data. So it will give you the parameterable time, parameterable layering of Social Studio Automate rules, which can give you an amount of content which can comes with a real-time combination, right? And it will automatically give you an ability that find out the managed account. You see the managed account here. Now I clicked on managed account. It'll ask you what is your managed account, what is your Twitter account. So it will not ask you to go with the topic level. Now I ask you to go with the account level. So let's go to the Twitter. Let's find out all the posts. Let's find out all the posts which are relevant to direct messages, any tweets or mentions. Only this level content, the only this media type content will come, and then filter based on the managed account that what I've registered here, and then it automatically send the data back to Service Cloud, because data sources are important first. After that, I'm going to write a rule. In the rule, it will help you out. In the rule, I can talk about more things to connect with Service Cloud. And again, the schedule data sources. As I said, these are all the typical, schedulable data sources which you can schedule at. As I said, I don't have much team to work on service agents, and typically I'll opt for Saturday, Sunday on some certain timings. So based on the timings, I request them to filter my data and then create a case, right? And historical data sources. So these type of data sources will run, they will allow running on Social Studio Automate rules on and every post that we're publishing during user specified period. So I'm gonna do it on start date is so much and end date is so and so. So based on the time zone that what I've specified, so it automatically go and then it will help you uh, filter the content with the specified times that what I mentioned here with the relevant origin and the relevant content that what I selected for. So based on the timings, we will go and then apply the rule that what I defined. Okay, because the rules and data sources are independent each other. You define data sources with all these timings, and this data sources will go and then while you creating a rule, it will ask you the data source, because the data source is the first point to go and then filter the content. After the content filtering, it will ask you the rule, what rule you want to apply. That we'll talk about in the later slides. So these are all the pretty much data sources, but in order to understand, I'll go and then I can showcase in the system how the data sources look like. You see here, so when I want to log in with Social Studio Automate, I have an option called rules.radian6.com. So this is a URL where everybody can use and then log in with the Social Studio Automate. It is not like a normal Social Studio login. It is a separate login for to set up all your automations. So now I have an option that I don't have much, have not configured much, but I've configured using my one of the colleague account. So now you can see here, whenever you log in with your Social Studio Automate, you see an option, the number one, data sources, rules, connections. Now I can go to the data sources. I designed a data source with my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and other social channels. I'm going to pick one. I'm going to pick one Instagram accounts. Okay, so I've gone with the managed accounts normally. So I'm going to showcase how you can go and then look into it. So in the data sources where I've entered the data source name, and you see here, so it will querying the Radian 6 API for information, and you can see here, I've put the name and I've requested for real time. So I have an option to go to the recent, I have an option to go schedule, and gonna go for historical. As per my requirement, I'm going with the real time. But most of the customers goes with the real time because they wanted us to, provide a best customer experience to their customers. I picked my managed account. So here in the drop down, I'll get an option of all my accounts that I've connected with Social Studio. I've connected it, and then I've requested the content where I connected the managed account should include only these level of content. Okay, so I included the spam, included the spam as well, right? And here you have an option here. A real time maximum will take only 1 minute. Within 1 minute, the Social Studio data source will hit the Social Studio platform to bring the relevant content, and then it will check the rules, and after that it will post, it will get a case in Salesforce. So overall operation for receiving a negative content inside Social Studio, going back to Salesforce Service Cloud to create a case, and then an agent will reply to the case, and a reply will goes to the Social Studio again, and then the Social Studio will send that information back to the concerned Twitter account. So the entire process normally takes 2 minutes maximum. That's what we observe. So less than 1 minute, sometimes less than 2 minutes. So it's overall 2 minutes at what I've seen in the time of performance. So it's always the best out of the current industry that what we see. So this way, you can create all your data sources with different number of accounts. If you want to manage topic keywords, you just click on keyword topics and then add all the keyword topics that what you wish. But again, make sure you have to design topic profiles in order to select your keywords, because this, once you design topic profile inside Social Studio, all the keywords coming to that social profile or attached to that topic profile will be displayed here. Okay, so that's a typical data sources. But let's go back to our presentation and let's check it out. So next thing is the rules. The rules are it's like a heart of our Social Studio Automate. The rules will definitely help you out. Okay, let me check if any questions. How do you identify that it is negative sentiment? We need to define the keywords. Okay, let's go to Janish's question. So it's a good question, Janish. So what you have to do is you have to go back to your Social Studio login. So here I'm logging with my Social Studio. You can see here my login URL is socialstudio.radian6.com. Okay. So here I'm logging with one of the, my workspace management, the workspaces that where I was landing. And from here, I go here, I click on my admin. The topic profile, when you created for one workspace, that would be applicable to many of the workspaces. That's really good. That's really good. You can see here under the admin settings, you can see an option to create a topic profiles, and then you can click on a manage. I have a topic profile which I already created, but in this topic profile, I had lot many keywords. I have lot many keywords which I can do our languages, filters, media types, region wise, and all. But I've designed hell number of keywords for my requirement, right? I've designed this topic profile. I've assigned this topic profiles across my workspaces. Step number one. And after that, what I requested is, as Janice would ask a question, how to manage these negative sentiments. I have my keywords, but although this entire sentiment model called sentiment model, this is built by Salesforce, inbuilt, it's inbuilt platform which can help us to find out what are all the negative keywords. But however, Salesforce gives us some sort of sentiment model. But however, every customer, every account of a social studio has an ability that they could train the model, that train the sentiment model. See here, I have an ability that I can click on. I'm going to click on this. Okay. So here, I'm going to have click on manage model. Now you see here, my current model is almost like a positive. It's running as a the best out of which where I want to add multiple keywords. So let's suppose I want to go this. I want to go this, or what I can do is I'm gonna put somewhere. I'm gonna put this model with the start. So I have this model. What I can do is I'll just click on manage model. So here my entire model is almost like a positive model because I see a lot of keywords which I have essential, enhanced, and the quarantine is one of the score that I've gone to minus negative. So here, Janeshwar, what you can do is you can add all your keywords, you can add all your prices. Now I'm going to add prices saying that service is bad. Now you can define your rating minus zero point 0.5 and click on add. So whenever in your entire omni-channel omni-channels which contains all your socials, Twitter, Instagram and all, if anybody is mentioned the post with or comment with service is bad, the Salesforce will automatically makes your sentiment as minus zero point 0.5 and it tag that post to the sentiment of negative. So you have an ability that you could manage your model very perfectly with all the keywords, and at the same time you could see your entire social post will tag under what kind of model it is. I'm going to pick with any one workspace at what I have, then I'm going to showcase how it works. So when I go to this analyze, so I do match. So let me go back to any other workspaces. I'm going to go with the Avitex. Yep. So I have my, I've connected one of the analyzed for one of the page. So in the page, you can see the feed of mine. And then from here, I could look at my sentiment analysis. So in sentiment analysis, what you can see here in the negative sentiment, whatever the keywords or the tags that what I applied in the later point of time or in the sentiment model tuning in my manage model option, some of the content that what we posted here when we click on this, let me go back this. When we go to this conversation, so within the conversation, within the conversation, I feel any one here which has a keyword which mentioned as a negative inside my sentiment model, then automatically Salesforce will make this sentiment as a negative. Okay. So like this, you have an ability that you could manage your model and you could train your model with an artificial intelligence. So because our Salesforce is built with intelligent Einstein and the APIs are inbuilt with sentiment model. So it automatically captures the information and then bring you out the best content and automatically capture and tag as a negative sentiment for some of the keywords that what you specified under sentiment model. Okay. So you see here some of the dashboards and I could show some of them. So you see here, we applied some tabs. You see all these positive comments and all. So there are some comments, you see negative comment. So say thank you for kind response. It's a positive, no, it will not affect anything for them. So this is contains some negative violations of law and rules. This is all something like a negative, right? So like this, you can manage your entire sentiment model and then bring the relevant data and then tag it to them. So the next action that what we would like to talk about is the rules. As I said, the rules are a heart of our social studio automate. Of course, you have an origin, you have a source has been designed, your data sources has been designed. Now the rules will help you out to manage your entire system of data, because especially when I talk about the filtering of an options, right? You have 100 posts. Out of 100 posts, you bring all the content from data sources. You said like you pick all the content of media types. Of course you put everything, but as a rule I apply, I don't want that level of content. You see here, in automate workflow with the rules consist of conditions and actions. You see here, I design a rule, I design and assign a data source. Without data source, this rule won't work. Okay, I apply conditions within this data source. I requested to bring all the content from Social Studio, but here what I requested, guys, please take Twitter followers is greater than something, and verified status is verified. And then what I requested, if the content matches with these conditions, I requested them to apply a label. I add another labels. So this guy, that relevant content or relevant post will automatically tag as a Twitter VIP influencer. So this is not only a rule, but there are so many rules we have. And apart from this, you see the rule designs, uh, the condition that what you have, you see the condition that what we have, plus the actions that what we are going to apply. So you're going to apply a tag. There are different kind of actions available: applying a tags, or send to Salesforce, create a lead, create a case, and send an email notification, send an alert to some of the persons, and I can showcase all the actions. So yeah, the rule will applicable the conditions and the actions, right? And the priority groups as well. So this is really an interesting topic where the priority groups really works uh, the best way. The priority groups are nothing but, if I have a group, you hope everybody know about this case assignment rules, right? The case assignment rules, that how we define the priority, right? The priority 1, priority 2, priority 3, right? 1, 2, 3. If one criteria matches, it will hit the one. If two criteria matches, it will two. If one criteria doesn't matches in the case assignment rules, then it will skip the priority 1. It will go to the next priority 2, right? And then it will execute. The same way, inside our Social Studio Automate, we could prioritize our groups, which can help us to hit the right group and send the relevant content back to the Social Studio, and applying some tags or creation of an alerts or sending some rules and all this stuff, right? And at the same time, that I was told, the rules are in a priority groups must be shared data, because every rule have a data source. As I said, it's a mandatory. Otherwise, you really don't know which account that you're applying for. Your entire system is going to be spam, right? Requesting to follow the priority groups, which can help you out to getting some logics on the incoming post. Again, is a rule until it find a match, or automate the test post against rule in the next priority groups, right? So you have a best out of which, right? It will follow the process that what you define in the priority groups, right? See, that's what the rule. But let's go back and then let's see how the rule look like inside Social Studio. I've designed a rule. My rule is nothing but, hey, when you pick the negative sentiments only from so on so accounts, I have my FB Social Studio accounts. So what I've done is, I have only requested, my client requirement is, hey, if any from Facebook, if any of I posted many of the pages, any of the people, any of the person commented or the customer commented with the negatively, just bring that comment and then create a case inside Salesforce. Okay. So I've designed a rule name. I've taken my data source as FB, and I've put the condition sentiment equals to negative. If sentiment is negative, I've requested for every post that what customer has posted that will go to Social Studio, right? I've requested them to put an app label, send to one of CRM, and now I requested an alert as well. I requested an alert to send to one of my manager to notify what's happening exactly, what kind of negative comment has been reached, so that maybe my agent is an offline or something. So my manager will reply proactively logging with Social Studio, right? At the same time, I requested them to send this information to Salesforce and then create a case as well with the origin, the respective. You can manage this. You could rename this if you want, right? So that's not only this. You see the number of actions that what we have. I'm going to put a label, post label, threshold alerts, assignment, delete from Facebook, detect language, and you see some translation services as well also available. So translation services are nothing but like, even we are working with all English translation service customers, but there are some customers which are sitting in French, Spanish, and all the relevant Tagalog and all the languages, right? So this translation will work to help you out to convert all your language of English to Tagalog language or French language. So entire your Social Studio Automate, when you go here, you can see all the French language. Everything is a French language. So that facility is available through this translation services, which is sitting on Microsoft Azure. You have to purchase a Microsoft Azure translation service, and then you could leverage this. So like this, the rule will help you out to filter the data at a second level and then give you the real-time action, a perfect action, which can create a case or apply some tags inside Social Studio, post and all the stuff you can apply here. Okay, let's go back. Now the conditions. as you are aware of it, right? Because there are so many conditions are defined by users, which we met some criteria, as I've told. So currently I've taken negative sentiment, but there are a lot of conditions available. So you can have C1, C2, C3, different kind of a conditions available. But again, the limitation is maximum of 10 conditions per rule. Let's go back to the rule and then identify. You see here, I have one rule here. I'm going to add one more rule. I'm going to apply some more conditions. So this condition where I'm going to choose the other is equal to some certain persons, then I'm going to choose the terms of conditions. And if you want to use advanced query tool to apply C1, the normal formula field that what we design, right? Multiple conditions for C1 and C2, or C2 plus C2 and C3, or C4 and C5. So you could have all these conditions available, right? And this is nothing but top for each and every rule what you design here. Only maximum of 10 conditions you can apply in a single role. Okay, that was one of the limitation. Okay, I go back again. So the tool that what I've told you, the advanced query tool, will help you out to operate the governing situations on the interactions between your conditions. Maybe change it by clicking on the advanced query tool. So the tool that what I've clicked on, right? So then you can look at the tool and then exactly like the formula field. So you can design the respective condition and then you could click on validate, right? So that way you could manage your content more valuable content, right? So the next thing is the conditions I've told about. So there are some assignment conditions available, and I want to be very sure and I want to give you a heads up. Every condition works with data sources, which you need to be very careful. Some of the data sources will work with the real time, some of them work with recent, some of them work with schedule and all this stuff. But the Salesforce Social Studio Automate will take the real time and recent one. The assignment condition, other condition, and you have a different conditions on other bio, influencer score, other label. And these are all the multiple conditions where you would like to go through these conditions, which can help you out for managing the use cases very proactively, right? And you have this content library, extended media type, hyperlink, language. So if somebody mentioned hyperlink contains on, so we could apply that condition as well and then uh, put that information, right? And you could see the media type, the mentions, note, the post confidentiality, post label, post parent. So you have different kind of conditions are available, and you can see the published data as well, priorities, quote tweet status, and escalates classifications, regional wise, retweet status, review score. So I can showcase all these conditions as well. As I've told, there are many conditions available here. The post parent, post title, published date. You see here, some of them has been grayed out because my data sources is real time, so I can't see some of them. You see here, the real time data sources where I can't leverage some of the conditions where as per my data source. So we should be really careful in order to leverage those things, right? So at the same time, you can see here the creation of the case where there is a people will wonder how it can be done funny, right? I can showcase how the comment will showcase in Salesforce Service Cloud, right? So I'll pick the cases. I'll pick Instagram. So I'll just look at the Instagram, how it look like, the Instagram typical cases. So here the customer has been messaged from the post of Instagram. So this is one of the negative comment that what they're looking for in terms of graphical, privately owned, or this is something where agent has to be interaction is required. So what once a post comes here as a negative comment, so what our team is done is service agents, they'll get an omni-channel agent will be assigned through omni-channel to the case. They'll directly click on reply and they can directly reply the respective case from here. You can see here automatically the account will be added, and then they'll add the comment and click on comment. Once they click on comment, automatically the comment will go and then display first into the social studio, and then immediately it will display directly to the Instagram account. So the ultimatum is people from agents don't need to log in with social studio. They can directly sit with Salesforce Service Cloud, and they could reply the post of the negative comments, negative sentiments, whatever the rules that what you have. It automatically pull the data into Service Cloud, and then it will create a case of Salesforce. And the question comes up, okay, funny, you said this is one time, but what is the next time? You start the conversation. So what will happen the next time? So every time all the conversations will be stored under a feed, And at the same time, all the conversations will be stored under social post as well. You see, all the social posts will be available, and at the same time, you find out the analytics of the harvest time, when the social studio post has been posted and when was the second reply, the harvested date has been came from the customer. So all the two-way communication which you could find under this feed, the no single communication will not go anywhere, all the communication will stay here. So that's why we could manage the customer experience in a real time, where you could manage, you can build a lot of KPI sort of, which you can understand. Based on that, you could change your social studio rules as well, the automate rules as well, in the later point of time, right? So this is something Instagram, but the people look at, so there are some FB post comments as well, right? So there are some comments on the FB side as well. So this is how it looked like for FB. So is here as a customer who commented on some issue where he want to see uh, some negative, some improper keywords that have leveraged. So he added some attachment files as well. So is here immediately a case created, and from here a case has been replied from our agents. So like this, the comments will come from Social Studio negative sentiment to Salesforce via Social Studio Automate. So like this, you could manage your customer experience in a real time, and the total operation of time from Social Studio, from customer sitting in Facebook and he put in a negative comment, and the reply of the Salesforce customer agent will do in 2 minutes. Imagine if 2 minutes customer experience doesn't. I mean, it's pretty good, because that's where we manage all the experience of the customers, right? So like this, you could manage your integration not only for Service Cloud. You have an ability that you can create a lead as well, because you're working in a different operations, because most of the customers will leverage Social Studio Automate for Service Cloud, but there are people who leverage for Sales Cloud as well for creation of the lead. Maybe some teams where they want to the product codations, or maybe contract issues or contract codation. So in that case, maybe a lead is the right option as per the business use cases, where we could design different data source for them to design different rules for them to create a lead, right? At a time, you can't create a lead or create a case, because it's not recommended, but you could design different data source and different rules for them to create a lead as well, right? And these are all the conditions which we can go for. Because it is just, you understand all the sentiment, source label, source, you can see here the real time is recent or available. Radiance classification is not available for real time. Some of them are not available real time. You see here the grayed out, the option is grayed out when I connect it to real time data source, right? So that's how the conditions will work normally. And in terms of the actions that what I've talked about, right? So the conditions, what you're seeing here, the action, the different kind of actions. The best action that what I see is that labels. If you put a labels with the right labels, so your marketing manager will feel pretty happy that what is post is, which post is relevant to what, right? And you see some of the threshold alerts, you could apply some threshold alert, just drag and drop this, that's it. And if you want to cancel, you can cancel this. And you could just perform, you can put some priority as well. So it automatically take you this information, and you could assign this respective comment to some person inside your org. There are some different people are there which you could assign this post, so that they'll take an alert on this, right? And you have some priorities as well, which you could design the priorities. And you want to put the scoring as well, put some scoring for each and every post as well. That gives you for your entire fundamental of, because lead scoring, part dot lead scoring. So the same concept works in Social Studio Automate, but you have to design analyzer. Analyzer is the one which you could put what kind of scoring apply to which kind of a post, right? So all these things which you could design inside Social Studio Automate. But again, in terms of actions that let's discuss about what are all the actions, nothing but a completion actions, that what we typically talk about part dot. At the same time, you can see here some of the actions where we would be, see in Service Cloud, would be see in Marketing Cloud, nothing but Social Studio. You see Service Cloud, what are all the actions available? So in Service Cloud, you could do post labels, source label also, you can send back to Service Cloud. And there are some actions with delete from Facebook, detect language, remove other label, remove post label, remove source level, score post, send email. So all these things which you can do, what I can do in Marketing Cloud, Social Studio, what I can do it in Service Cloud. Okay. And you can see send to Salesforce. It's only possible in Service Cloud. You can create a case, create a lead, and you can set the priority of the respective post, whether you want to do it in a low post, medium post, high post. Set the priority, set the threshold alert that gives a more valuable addition for managers. If it's a high priority post which contains some negative sentiment, then of course you could put an alert to your manager via threshold alerts. Right? There are some classifications available, and I see the sentiment that what I've told about positive, neutral, negative, and some of the posts that you want to keep from spam. You want to collect the data from data sources, of course. You could put a spam status as well, and you could put some train as classified categories that works with NLM, the natural language processing for NLM and NLP. And the translations is another note to post containing the post translations can translate your English, French, and Spanish. So like this, you could manage your entire automation process by using Social Studio. This is what the best out of it that what we've seen, because there are some limitations with social customer service, but however, by using this tool which you could manage very configurably, because you don't require a developer on this, because you just require the brains that you can go and then set it up and manage your accounts very proactively, and then bring the relevant content and bring the relevant information back to your marketers, the channel sales managers, and your service teams, so that everybody pretty feel happy the way the system is working by using Social Studio Automate, right? So that's it, session today, and I would like to thank for each and everyone who's joined the session. And don't go anyway. So we have a quiz which is going to be, uh, it's going to be pretty good today. So it's going to be fun as well. So uh, let's have some quiz. And before, so we have some information available. So people are really, you know, if anyone who's not joining our group, Salesforce Singapore Marketers Partner Group, please feel free to join. I'm going to post this link in our group. So let me post this. So I'll give it to everyone. Yeah. So this is the group link. So please feel free to join so that you'll receive the relevant updates on the Marketers Group part. And at the same time, so requesting to join the part.b2b, the global group as well. So there are a lot of experts who are really happy to help you on this, not only for the part, but if you have any questions on different tools, that probably they'll ask you to route to the right team, because the community is very huge, and then everybody are really passionate to help. And the customer success calendar, where every year there's a success calendar which is available, where there are a lot of content that is going on. There are a lot of experts who are sitting, and then they're providing a relevant content to talk about. And there are customer hub which you can go for, understand help articles and trainings, and the community which can collaborate with different partner users, the expert people here. And of course, idea exchange will help you out for post any idea that is not possible, or some kind of a bug, some kind of product limitations, or requesting to post any idea here. Where the highest number of points will go to the product team review glance, and then they'll keep updating. They'll go and then implement this corresponding post, and then they'll publish in the next releases. And if anyone interested to be a, the PSP is a Parted Success Path, which want to become a pro, then go to, this www.2.pardot.com and slash part.path, which will take you through the resources where you are, where you can become a pro and then win some cool prizes as well. Okay. So that's it for today, team. And, and we have, and we have a quiz. So I'm going to publish this. So we have a quiz. So this time we are, planning to have some differently, but of course we have 22 minutes, 24 minutes are left, but we'll wrap it out the quiz in a next 2, 5, 6 minutes, and then we could announce the top 3 winners as well. And please be ready. So what I can do is, let me see if anyone has any questions. So based on it, I can see. I think no one has any questions. So I feel this session is pretty advanced, and I know this session is pretty useful for everyone. And I feel these 2 sessions will definitely bring among the relevant content on the Social Studio Automate. So I believe everybody can go and then check it out and then implement accordingly. And if any questions on the Social Studio Marketing Cloud, so please feel free to ping me on the Trailblazer community messages, or else you could reach out to me in the LinkedIn. So you could find out me with Fanindra. So probably my name will be displayed, and then you could follow my blog as well. There's a relevant content with the same. So just reach out to me for any kind of questions. Not only for the partner, but if you have any questions on the Salesforce side as well, in terms of CDP or Marketing Cloud, please reach out to me for any enterprise level system questions or any architectural decisions as well. Okay. Okay, let's go back to the quiz. So just give me 1 second. So I'll log in with the quiz and then I'll give you the 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 code of the quiz. Then you can start with this. Just give me a second. Share my screen again. Yeah. Can anybody can, I mean, please go to slido.com and then or else you could scan the respective QR code and put the respective hash, or you can just enter the 227957 as the number, and then you can start with this. Yeah, I think Saurabh, Banchal, 2 people have joined. Prashant. Okay, Vamshi, Prashant, 9, 10. I think there are 38 participants. Let's see. I mean, as to join the rest of the folks, I'll give some time. Don't worry. If once everyone joined, then only we can start. So there are 28. So let's see if the rest of the folks are. There are 38 participants. So uh, I'll wait for 2 more minutes, and then we can start because. Okay, 31, 32. Okay, I think we can start. So I'll give one more minute, guys. If you want to join quickly, or else I can start with the questions. Okay, so 33. $34. Okay, let's start. So I'm going to publish the first question. We can start the quiz. So let me go on live. Oh, just give me a second. Share my screen. So how many people answered the first question? It's 23 people answered. So let's go back to the. So the answer is like reduces the noise. Need to review unnecessary posts like retweets. So let's see who's in top. So RK. Okay, the next question. So we'll take a 15 seconds. So based on it, you have to answer the question. So yeah, I think most of them are answer. The right answer is analyzers. So let's see the leaderboard who's in. I think Mastan. Let's go to the next question. Who can add social accounts to a workspace? Yes. So the answer is, so who answered workspace admin and super user? That's correct. So the answer is workspace admin and super user. Okay, let's go to the next question. What is the current Salesforce edition? Sorry, what is the current Salesforce release? I've just kept as edition. Oh, 52% are answered. That's good. I kept as Sprite 22. You see, guys, it says like Sprint. I've changed the spellings of the answers as well. So yeah, Spring 22 is the right answer. Let's see who's in the leaderboard. It's Madhukar. Let's go to the next question. URL to log in with Social Studio Automate. Let's see who answer. Okay, see the answer is rules.radian6.com. So I've confused with 65 6n.com 6, but the answer is rules.radian6.com. So let's see who's in the leaderboard now. Madhukar and Vamshi are top three. So let's go to the next question. What is the full form of SFMC? That's right. I think I don't know who answered marketing cloud, so that's okay. It's a good visibility as well. So 85% are answer the correct. So it's a Salesforce marketing cloud. Let's see who's in the leaderboard. It's Madhukar again with 52 seconds. Vamshi and Saurabh on the top. So let's go to the next question. URL of Social Studio login. Yep. So if you see here, it's two options like A or D. Anything is perfectly fine, but people think that how it's perfectly fine, right? So see here, this HTTPS socialstudio.radian6.com. So here, there's no HTTPS here, so it's very secure domain which is hosted in the Social Studio platforms. So it will be the right answer is the first one. So let's go. Whose answer was in the top now? Now, Saurabh is the second. Madhukar is first. And Masan is third. Okay, let's go to the next. So, API to retrieve social content data from Social Studio to Social Studio Automate. So, as we discussed a lot many times, 67, 79. So, I pretty feel like anyone is answered chicken 65. So that's good. Most of the people answered rightly. It's Radian 6. So the correct answer is Radian 6. So let's see who's on top right now. Madhukar, Saurabh, Mastan, top three. Let's go to the last two questions. We have 10 questions so far today. Let's go to the next question. What percentage is good a goal for sentiment agreement? So in typical Social Studio, we have the good score available based on the sentiment model that what you tuned. And the most of the Social Studio architects were defined a score which can give you the approximate range of positive and negative. So let's see who answered the most. Yes, 79% is the right answer. And let's see who answered this. So the top three, Madhukar, Mastan, Virendra. Right. So let's go to the next question and the last question. So, yep. What can you do with workspace calendars? So you want to add workspace members, schedule and design content, create user roles, add social accounts. So when I talked about the first initial architectures, the workspace calendars will do. So let's see who's answered. Yeah, most of them are answered correctly. The workspace calendar can help you out to schedule and design the content and publish the content. So let's see the answer is, and let's see who's in top three. It's Virendra, Saurabh, and Nick. So Virendra, Saurabh, Nick, would you please drop your respective email addresses, the personal email addresses, along with your LinkedIn profiles as well. So I think it's a good session, guys. So I'll unmute and so I'll have some feedback as well. So let me stop recording.